Husband never cared for our daughter her entire life, but when I found out he had fun in the same room as our sleeping child with someone I banned from her life, so I finally snapped and asked him to sign away his rights. I, 30F, was with my, 34M, husband for almost 10 years, married for 8. We have a 4-year-old daughter together. My husband also has another daughter from his previous marriage. She is 12 and he hasn't seen or had any contact with her since she was 3. Years ago, when his ex-wife moved across the state of Texas, I had urged him to fight for his right to be in her life. He paid child support and had court-ordered visitation, but he never pushed the issue and gave up without even a fight. At that time, we had just gotten married. Seeing that, it made me never want to have children with him. I loved him, but I felt in my heart that if he so easily gave up on his first child, then what would make my children with him any different? Well, I ended up getting pregnant 7 years into the relationship. No, we weren't trying. I accepted it though. As soon as I saw those lines on the pregnancy test, I loved her. I worked every day up until I gave birth to my daughter. I was the breadwinner and I knew that I was about to have a baby and I would be out of work for a minimum of 2 months. So, I worked my ass off and got us 3 months ahead on all of our bills. He helped none. Didn't help with bills, planning and setting up the baby shower, paying for said baby shower, buying baby supplies, I cloth diapered. He didn't help with a single thing. Her delivery was traumatic to say the least. There were a lot of complications. I almost bled out on the table during my C-section and my uterus had begun to tear during it, to that point that I was close to needing a hysterectomy. My daughter also stopped breathing during the C-section and had to be resuscitated. Thankfully, we both made it out. After her delivery, he wasn't attentive to either of us. Everything was on me. I was a new mother and I was suffering with PPD. I was drowning and wouldn't get any help or support from him. I lost 50 pounds in a month due to how severe my depression was. I wasn't eating. I wasn't taking care of myself. One night with our daughter was particularly bad. I was up all night and there was nothing I could do to get her to sleep. I decided to wake up my husband an hour before his alarm. I asked if he could watch her just so I could get a little nap. This man looked at me and said that is disrespectful that you would ask me to do that when I'm the only one working. Mind you, I got us 3 months ahead on all of our bills. This man would come home from work and ask for an hour to himself, so he could relax and unwind. I granted that. After that hour, he would then jump in the shower for another hour. I would be sitting at the dinner table with him, watching him eat while I feed my daughter and my plate of food in front of me growing cold. He would finish his meal and then start scrolling his phone without a care or even offer to take over feeding our daughter so that I could eat. When I was finally able to go back to work, I went right back to handling all of the bills, cooking, cleaning and now, childcare. When I was home, it's as if he had no obligation to care for our child. I could be washing dishes, cooking, and washing her diapers all at the same time while he watches TV, and if she started crying, he wouldn't even acknowledge her. I would yell at him that my hands are full, I know he hears her, take care of her. There was an incident where I had put her in a diaper before I left for work that morning. I mentioned that I cloth diapered her. I had a stash of 60 diapers and none of them were the same color or pattern. When I got home, 8 hours later, she was in the same diaper I had left her in. I was livid. He let our child sit in a soiled diaper all day. I went back to school and became an EMT when she was 6 months old. I worked and went to school. I'm sure you can imagine how much help I received from him during this time. After I started working as an EMT, I would work 48-hour shifts and have 96 hours off. 2 days on, 4 days off. Often I would work close to 100 or more hours a week to support my family. Someone had to pay the bills and he wouldn't even bother. There was a night while I was on shift in another town. I got a call from my supervisor. Long story short, my ex had been drinking, something he did quite often around our child that I had no clue about, while our daughter was asleep in her bed. He went over to the neighbor's house and ended up in an altercation with him, to which my husband ended up shot. I was furious. He left our daughter alone. He was drinking. He almost died and put our child at risk. When I decided to leave him, he tried to fight me on custody. I still don't understand why. From my perspective, he never cared about our daughter to begin with. He didn't have a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. He was just blowing smoke. He gave up pretty quickly. Since then, he hasn't called to ask about her, given money, or asked to see her. I'm not the type to keep him away from his kid. I would make him take her. I was forcing him to have a relationship with her. I didn't want my daughter to think that her dad doesn't care, and I'm not going to be the reason she doesn't see him. Now I could care less. It's not up to me if she has a relationship with him, it's up to him. I'm done with it all. This is what brings us to today. My husband has dated in the 2 years since we separated. My husband is a bisexual man. I've met a few of his exes whom I never had a problem with, except one. This ex is insane, toxic and violent. Someone I don't want around our kid. I have expressed that under no circumstances is he to be near or around our child. Well, when I dropped off our child to him, apparently his ex was hiding in the bathroom so that I wouldn't see him. I found this out from my husband's brother and sister. To top it off, he admitted to them that he had sex with him in the same room as our child, but she was asleep the night I dropped her off. I saw red. I am completely and utterly disgusted in him. I had tried to be cordial and respectful towards him, though he never deserved it, but I am done. So, I sent him a text that said, "Once we get this divorce finalized, I'm taking you back to court and I want you to sign your rights over. You have done nothing for your kid. Oh, I'm sorry, when you got your money from your mother passing, you bought her clothes and shoes. As you should be, see, you are her father. You never call to ask about her. Never send money for her. You never ask to see her. I have to reach out to you and push for you to have a relationship with her. You don't give a single fuck. I never wanted children with you, BC. You never fought for your first daughter. You're no better than a sperm donor, except for the fact that I have had the unfortunate displeasure of knowing who you are. I envy every person that has never met you. You only want kids for the clout that brings you, so that you can portray the false image of caring and loving father when that isn't the case. You're more concerned with getting high and getting your dick wet than having a relationship with your child. And you'll do it with her in the room. You're disgusting. Depraved. A stain and an illness to society. Do me the favor and sign your rights away. You don't need to damage your child with your worthless existence. If you care, you will do it for her. At least in my care, I'm not getting pumped with her in the room with me, as well as letting addicted and mentally ill individuals near my child. Sick ass. You offer her nothing but disappointment, so let's stop with that. Live your life away from us so that she may know peace. I'm wondering if this makes me an and if I went too far? I apologize for how long this post is and for any errors. I'm at work and typing this on my phone. There's a lot more to the story than this, but I tried to condense it down as much as I could. If you have more questions or need clarification on anything, ask away. Update. Hello everyone, I'm back with an update. Since my last post, I did end up going to the police station and filing a police report on my husband. I didn't contact CPS just because I knew that once I filed the police report, the police would then contact CPS. I was right and heard from CPS 2 days later. I gave them all of the information I knew, names involved, addresses and phone numbers. A few days after my initial post, I received a phone call from an officer in the same city as my ex's sister. She had filed a police report on him because after I had made my police report, he had started threatening his sister. So, I spoke with that investigator and gave all of the information I had in my case number. Since then, I haven't heard a word from him. I know CPS has gone and spoken with him, but that's the last I have heard. As of now, I'm just playing the waiting game and doing everything to keep my daughter away from him. In my last post, I had a lot of questions asking why I stayed with him as long as I did. He wasn't a good man to me. He was abusive and neglectful as a husband and father. The man knowingly gave me an incurable STD when I was 19 without disclosing it to me. I stayed because it boils down to low self-esteem and self-worth. I thought no one would ever want me again, and I felt trapped with him. I was also asked why I kept pushing a relationship that he didn't want with him and his daughter. In my heart of hearts, I believed I was doing the right thing at the time. I wanted my daughter to grow up with her father in her life. I was wrong. So damn wrong. I see that now. I thought I was doing the right thing, but all I was doing was putting my daughter in danger and opening her up to being hurt and traumatized. I was selfish for that. I see now that an absent parent is better than a present one that doesn't care for the safety or well-being of their child. I will forever feel horrible for my own actions and hand that I played in this. He was wrong for what he did. I was and am wrong for putting my daughter in that position to begin with. My job is to protect her, and I didn't, and I will spend the rest of my life fixing my mistakes and working to do right by her. I've tried talking to my daughter about if she had maybe seen something, but she's at that age where she doesn't quite understand and would rather watch Paw Patrol. I'm keeping an eye on her to see if she starts exhibiting strange behavior that may raise red flags. For now, we're working on healing, and I'm just giving my daughter all of the love and care that she deserves. She's an amazing, sweet and incredibly empathetic little girl. I'm beyond blessed to have her. She's this wonderful light in the world and has the ability to make me smile on my worst days. He's missing out on her. He will have to live with that. My hope is that this doesn't affect her, but if it does, I will give her everything she needs to move past it. Thank you everyone that gave support and advice on this matter. I appreciated everyone's kind words and the not so kind words. I needed to hear it. A lot of you opened my eyes, and I thank you all for that.